Hey, Zach Crawford here, and in this video I'm going to talk about why 95% of people failed affiliate marketing, and I'm really going to share with you the truth about affiliate marketing. These are the things that I wish people would have told me when I got started. You know, when I first got online 6 years ago, I thought I was going to get rich quick. I thought I was going to make tons of money without very much effort, and that set me up for a lot of failure. With that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a few mindset things. So we're going to be talking about like concepts you need to really think about business, not just affiliate marketing, but really the right mindsets about business. Because if you go into it the wrong way, you're doomed for failure regardless what business model you go after. And then we're also going to talk about a few tactics that you should focus on if you really want to succeed with affiliate marketing. Now, with that being said, if you're brand new to the channel, make sure to go below, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos, and finally leave a comment below and let me know what your biggest takeaway was. Every single day I give away a $1,000 course. This is a course I actually charge $1,000 for. So I select somebody with the best comment below, give away one of my $1,000 courses, and I'll let you know in the comments if you win. Now, with that being said, I want to jump in first and really talk about, it's more mindset for the first couple of tips, and then from there we'll jump into more of the tactics, right? Now, number one that I see most people fail with is a lack of patience. This is huge. Like at the end of the day, a lot of people want instant gratification. They expect results way too quick. They really overestimate what they can do, say, in a couple months, and they underestimate what they can do in a year. You know, I've heard people say that basically people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in, say, 5 years, which is probably a better way at looking at business in general, looking at the long term of things, which we'll talk about a vision a little bit later. But, you know, people get into it and they expect to literally like get rich in 30 days, and this just isn't possible. I do believe in get rich quick, but here's the thing. When you get rich quick, usually what you don't see that people don't tell you, remember what I said, I'm going to talk about things you don't really hear when you get into it, right? When you see people get rich quick, like usually there's a reason that people say they were a 5-year overnight success story, or they've been doing it for like 2 or 3 years before they hit success. That's not to discourage you and say that you can't make money fast. When I talk about money, I'm talking about very big amounts of money. Like you see people becoming a millionaire overnight, right? It doesn't happen. You know, it just doesn't happen. That's complete BS. You got to put in the work, and you got to take the right mindset. If you're going into business, you got to go into the mindset that I'm going to do it until. You're not just doing it until you get the results, you know, quick in 30 days, right? You're going to quit after 30 days if it doesn't work. You're going to do it until. If that means 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, you go into it that you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to stay consistent, and you're going to do it until. Now, the next thing I see is people quit at the first sign of defeat. Basically, I want you to understand that there is no such thing as defeat, not unless you quit. You know, what people, they perceive failure when it's not really failure, it's data. You know, when I go back and look at my career over the last 6 years, a lot of times I did this. I quit. I thought that basically it wasn't working, and I jumped ship, which we're going to talk about shiny object syndrome here in a minute. But basically, I perceived it as failure. And what you're going to see is there's no successful person out there that doesn't go through failures. It doesn't matter what the business model is. They hit ruts. It's just most people don't talk about this. They only talk about the good times, driving the nice cars, living the lifestyle. And, you know, I have a pretty nice lifestyle, but I don't talk about it a whole lot just because I don't want to set people up for failure. If I focused on all my wins, it wouldn't help the people on my channel that actually watch my videos, right? I want you to understand that you're going to hit failures, but it's not really failure. It's data. It's telling you what doesn't work, and it tells you what you need to tweak to make it better. Now, the next one I want to do is I actually recommend a book to you. It's called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, and it focuses on stoicism. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's that, you know, our society is weak, in my opinion. We quit at the first sign of defeat, as I talked about, and we're really conditioned in our head. Everything should be easy. It should be fun. Everything should just be amazing. And with things like Instagram, it's very easy to look at other people and think their life is amazing, but we're only seeing their highlight reel. We're only seeing the parts they want us to see. You know, if you think about it, does anybody post their crappy moments in their life? Of course they don't. No, actually, I think about it. Some people do post their crappy lives and they talk about it, but people you usually follow, like celebrities and celebrities in your niche industry, right? They only post the good stuff. They don't share that they have problems in their life. They don't share they have problems in their relationships, and maybe at the current moment their business is on the downward spiral. They only share things they want you to see, which makes their life look awesome, which in return makes you feel bad about yours. This book will help you really understand, not just for business and affiliate marketing, but for life. Understand that life is tough, and understanding how to actually navigate those waters and how to really look at things, it really can change your perspective. It changed mine. Now, number 2 is they suffer from shiny object syndrome. This is probably the worst, right? This is what really kills entrepreneurs. And here's the thing. I see people, especially when they start in affiliate marketing, they think they're going to get results quick. And then they see people talk about Shopify or Amazon FBA or cryptocurrencies, right? And I think all these are legit business models. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on this, but here's something I want you to think about. Like right now, everybody's big on e-commerce. E-commerce has been around for years, and it's very sexy to see people talking about how they're making $100,000 a month or $200,000 a month or $500,000 a month. But do they ever share with you that their profit margins are about 10%, maybe 50% at the highest if they actually do things perfect? I would say on average, you're probably looking at 15 to 20%. And I know this, one, because I've done these business models. And two, I even have friends that have made millions of dollars into it. And guess what they did? They're heading back over to affiliate marketing. Now, I'm not here to say that affiliate marketing is the be-all, end-all, because every business model works. It comes down to what you stick with and you decide you're going to master. But my point here is people are focused on what they think is going to be greener grass on the other side, right? Everybody thinks the grass is always greener. And, lately, another one like cryptocurrency, I actually plan to invest in cryptocurrencies, but here's my outlook, right? A lot of people think that they're going to get rich quick and skip the grind. I believe, as I said, about getting rich quick, but it takes work for that moment to get rich quick, right? And a lot of people think like with cryptocurrency or Amazon FBA or whatever this model is that they're going to switch over to, that like they're going to jump over to that, and because they see people getting results, that means like, bam, they're just going to make the money without any effort. What you don't see is that, like say in cryptocurrency, right? People lose and they win. They gauge the market. They try to make their best, analytical decisions. And that's how they get rich with cryptocurrency. Like when I go into it, I'm taking my money from affiliate marketing that I already have. So if I lose it, I look at it as an investment, right? I'm learning the market. I'm not going to go into it like, oh yeah, I'm going to get rich by just investing a little bit of money. And this is the problem. When you view things like that, when you're doing something and you quit, do you know what you're doing? You're conditioning your brain to be a quitter. So if you quit with affiliate marketing and you already started, you're going to go over to Amazon FBA and you're going to quit there. And then maybe you jump to Shopify thinking, oh, people say Shopify is easier. And then you quit there. And then you try cryptocurrency and you quit there. At the end of the day, if you can't make one business model work, you're going to have a very hard time doing 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I'm getting into real estate, penny stocks, cryptocurrencies this year. These are other things I'm diversifying my income, right? But if you can't make one work, trust me, you're not going to make number 2 and 3 work. You got to stay focused on what you're doing and stop quitting so easy, because at the end of the day, it's so easy to jump to thing to thing to thing. This is why people talk about shiny object syndrome in business so much, is it's a lack of focus. Now, focus on your focus. This is one of my signature lines I always tell all my coaching students. And what I mean by focus on your focus is focus on your shit. And what I mean by that is at the end of the day, like I said, it's so easy to go on Instagram and look at something like, oh man, their life is so much better than mine. But at the end of the day, like this is a bad habit to get into. You got to focus on your business, focus on your life, focus on improving yourself daily. And that's everything from like the way you think to actually doing the work in your business. If you're constantly being a consumer, you got to switch from being the consumer, which is the person that's the shiny object syndrome, right? That's how they jumped ship, because they're constantly consuming, and then they listen to every guru tell them this is the new model, this is the new way, this is how you make money, and they're not focused on their own focus. They're focused on what other people are telling them to do. You got to focus on your own lane, and you got to go all in on yourself. And if you're constantly focused on consuming everybody else's stuff, you're going to be pulled around by puppet strings. Now, the next one is master selling one product, one traffic source, or one sales funnel before trying to create multiple streams of income. So here's the thing. Multiple streams of income is great. Back in the day, they used to say you needed 16 sources of income to be a millionaire. Do you realize today you need one? Literally one. Now, I'm not saying that every millionaire has one source of income. What I can tell you is you don't need as many as you think. Like you literally can become a millionaire with one business model. You don't need 5, 6, 7. That was old hat advice. These day and age, you literally can do it with one. Now, do I think that you should create multiple streams of income? Absolutely. If you listen to what I said, I'm going into real estate. I'm going to be investing in the stock market and penny stocks and cryptocurrency. I'm going to be diversifying my income, right? But I first got really, really good with one to the point that I have the kind of money that I can invest. If you're trying to create multiple streams of income, and I see this all the time, especially when I do one-to-one coaching, like people are in like 5 different programs trying to make it work, or trying to sell 5 different products, or they're building like 10 different funnels, and they don't even got one thing that works. I want you to understand and follow the money. It's to the person's benefit, aka the guru that possibly you're following, to tell you need multiple streams of income. Why is it to their benefit? Because they're selling multiple things. At the end of the day, if you want to be able to be a serious entrepreneur, whether it's affiliate marketing, it's Shopify, whatever the business model is, you got to learn to use this. You got to learn to think for yourself and focus on your focus and not constantly be pulled in all these different directions. If you can't make one thing work, it's going to be hard to make number 2 work. Now, number 3 is a lack of belief in themselves and the business model. So the first thing that people do is they look at other people and they think they're lucky or they're special. I've heard so many times people say that, oh, Zach, I wish I was as lucky as you. And I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, do you realize my story? Like, if you think I'm lucky and you're watching this video right now, go watch my documentary on this channel and tell me that I was lucky. I got hit by a drunk driver. I was $50,000 in debt. I went through tons of depression for years. I wanted to kill myself. And I got into business because I wanted to change my life. So when somebody says someone's lucky or they must be special or they have these skills, what they're not looking at is what I told you before, where people think about getting rich quick. They're not looking at what the person went through. They're looking at their highlight reel. They're looking at the money they have now, the success they have now, and they're not taking into account that those people probably started in the shit, maybe just like you're starting right now. So when you say somebody is special, you say they're lucky, you know what you're doing? You're saying you're not good enough. I can't make this work. I'm never going to be able to be rich. You're telling yourself basically that you're wasting your time. And so don't look at somebody as they're special or they're lucky, because you're putting yourself down and you're putting them up on a pedestal, which is a bad habit to get into. Number 2 is they believe in saturation. I want you to understand saturation is a myth. I'm not into MLM, that's multi-level marketing, but there's people who say, for instance, like MLMs are saturated or a specific company is saturated. Like I said, I'm not into MLM, but I think it's BS, right? There's plenty of millionaires in multi-level marketing. There's plenty of millionaires in affiliate marketing. There's plenty of millionaires in Shopify. There's plenty of millionaires in investments like the stock market. Understand, when somebody says that something is saturated, it's a limited mindset. Like, you're always going to hear somebody say this doesn't work or this doesn't work. And what's funny is if you follow the money, a lot of times their head is so far up their ass, they're telling you something doesn't work because it doesn't work for them. A lot of times you'll hear somebody say a certain traffic source is just saturated or doesn't work, but it's because they don't do it. They're telling you this is the only traffic source. Example right now, if I said Facebook ads was the only way to get traffic, I would be an idiot. If I said YouTube was the only way to get traffic, I'd be an idiot. Same thing for Instagram. Literally all these things work. It comes down to what works for you, not what works for, just the special few. So when somebody says something is saturated, and if you think something right now is saturated, you might want to look in the mirror and rethink things, because if you can see even 5 people in a particular business model, like real estate, right, and they're rich, you should not be looking at the 95% that fell. You don't want to be average, do you? Because if you do, then follow the average people. That drives me nuts when people say, oh, only the 5% is successful, right? Well, if you look at sports, why is only 5% make it to the NBA? Because those 5% put in the work. But why do only maybe a tiny fraction of the people that make it to the NBA become the greats, right? It's because a lot of the basketball players, when they get done playing the game, they go home, they go party, they're living the life. This is why most of them are broke when they get out. But then you'll have like the Kobe's or the Michael Jordans who literally put in the extra hours and they become the greats of the game. At the end of the day, you don't want to model the 95%. You want to model the top 5% of what they're doing and look at them. If it's possible for them, that's all you need to know. So if you see successful people in an industry you want to go into, you should know that at the end of the day, if they can do it, so can you. They're not lucky. If somebody else can do it, so can you. Now, they don't have a vision for their success. So I'm actually going to link to this video at the end of this video so you can watch that. But most people do not have a vision for their success. And what I mean by this is they don't have a life plan. Like, at the end of the day, if you just say you want to be rich, what does that mean? What does rich mean? How much money is that? Where do you want to live? What kind of car do you want to drive? What color is that car? What size house do you want? What square footage? How many vacations do you want to take? Who do you want to be married to? You got to know in extreme detail what you want your life to look like, because if not, you'll be pulled in any path. We talked about shiny object syndrome. And at the end of the day, if you don't know what you want, trust me, you won't get it. So you got to know what you want your life to look like 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. When you really have a vision for where you're going, that vision will pull you. When you feel like quitting, when you feel like, oh man, this isn't working, you're going to pull through those times because of the fact that you know what you're doing. Just like this example of me and my YouTube channel right now. At the current moment, I have about 2,000 subscribers. My goal is about 100,000 subscribers in the next year. Now, if I looked at this like, oh man, this is so much work, it's never going to work, of course, I wouldn't do the videos every single day. However, I know what I'm creating. I know what it's going to look like 1 year from now. And now I think about this, I should refer to this video a year from now so people can see back at what I did, the work I put in, and what I created. At the end of the day, you got to know what you're doing every single day, because otherwise you're pulled in the direction of what other people want from you. Now, we're going to start getting into the last two, more tactics, right? And this is the biggest one, is people try to take shortcuts. They think, for example, like paid traffic is going to be the be-all, end-all. They think this is the answer to them getting quick results. And I want you to understand, if you don't know how to convert free traffic, good luck. Good luck trying to convert paid traffic. Because at the end of the day, if you don't understand like how to talk to the customer, you don't understand how to position the offer properly, you're not, say, building an email list, or you don't know how to set up a proper landing page, just running tons of traffic to a sales page is not going to work. If you look at like Shopify, for example, right? I keep touching on Shopify. It's just because it's a popular trend at the moment. And Shopify, in my opinion, is kind of a lot like affiliate marketing. A lot of people are doing it like arbitrage, where it's like they're spending a bunch of money, and the whole goal is like, okay, if I spend $1,000 on ads, hopefully I make back at least more money than I spent. But they're not building like a real asset, right? They're just spending money. So understand, paid traffic is not just a quick fix. You got to understand how the business works. If you don't know how to create free content and actually get conversions from that, you're going to have a hard time with paid traffic. So for me, I do both, but I look at paid traffic as just a way to accelerate my business. But free traffic is my long-term game. Like years from now, this free traffic that I'm putting in now, the content I'm creating, it's going to keep making me sales, generating me leads for years to come. I literally have pieces of content I've created several years ago that still make me sales to this day. I did it once and I keep getting paid. Try that with paid traffic. It's not going to happen. Now, the other thing is they don't want to give value up front. They just want to make a sell. So I want you to understand something, and this goes back to what I just talked about with paid traffic, about why I think free traffic is equally or more important than paid traffic. Nobody likes being sold to. Think about it. Do you like being pitched a product? Now, unless you're a weirdo like me and you just love marketing, most people don't like being sold to. For me, I like being pitched because I like going through the sales process to see what they're doing. But there's a right and wrong time to sell someone. And I always talk about this on my channel all the time, is trust is the number one selling mechanism. When somebody trusts you, it's literally as easy as recommending something. Like, for instance, I could tell you, you want this podcast mic if you want your audio to sound great. And if you trusted me, I could link to my description and say, hey, you can go get it. And it's kind of funny because somebody asked me, what mic I used the other day. But at the end of the day, once somebody trusts you, selling is not hard at all. It's literally just a recommendation. You don't got to be good at copywriting. You don't really need to be a very good salesman or saleswoman. You don't really need to know persuasion or any of those sales techniques. You literally can just say, hey, this is a great mic, check it out. But if you don't have trust, you need all of those things to be on point. You need to be an amazing copywriter. You need to be amazing at sales. And if you don't, you're going to have a hard time. So just running paid traffic and not having the other stuff, not putting the value up front, not creating content to answer the questions that people are searching for in your niche, in my opinion, is just silly. And if you're in the affiliate marketing game for the long term, or you're in selling anything online for the long term, you should be building an asset. You should be literally focusing on creating something that's going to grow over time, which is my next point, which is they're not focused on building assets, right? And that just totally messed up there and went down. So they're not focused on building assets. They're only focused on making sales. We talked about the Shopify thing already, so I'm not going to touch on that. But basically, they're just focused on getting sales today. And I understand it. I understand when you first start out, you just want to make a sale so damn bad, right? But you're not thinking about the vision of the future. You're not thinking about creating a reliable business that allow you to quit your job, that allow you to help your family, that allow you to travel the world and do what you want, that allow you to buy whatever the heck you want without worrying about what it costs. If you're not in this for building a real business, like, you're going to be right back to a job even if you get out. I've seen it time and time again. I've been in this industry for 6 years, and I'm not just talking about affiliate marketing. I've watched so many people that I started with, that I come up with, that I haven't even seen them. They just disappeared off the map because they give up. As soon as things got hard, they were like, oh, I'm done. And that, you don't want to do that. If you create a real asset, you're never going to run into that problem. You're constantly going to be making money. So one of the things you want to focus on is building an email list, right? This is the biggest thing. I don't understand why people don't want to do this. It's the best way to make money online, hands down. Literally, like, once you build an email list, instead of just going for the sell, not only can you make more sales when you follow up with somebody over say a 6 to 7 day time frame, but you can keep following up with people and offering them additional products. So instead of just selling one thing, you can sell them 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And at the end of the day, it makes you 10 times more money. Think about it. If you send 1,000 people to the sales page and just a small fraction of those people buy, now let's say you send 1,000 people to a landing page where you collect their email, and say you only get like 200 people opt in. Do you think you're going to make more money from the 1,000 people that just hit the sales page and hope they buy? Or do you think you're going to get more money from the 200 people that you now have their email and you can keep following up with them for years to come? I don't know about you, but building an email list is the key. It's been the key for years. It's just most people don't talk about it. Building an email list, if you look, is what all the big gurus are doing, no matter what the business is. If you're trying to learn how to make money online right now, regardless if it's Shopify, Amazon, affiliate marketing, product creation, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. They've collected your email and they market to you from their email list. Now, social media, it's absolutely necessary, but not having an email list is just like burning money. Literally, it's like burning money. The other thing is they're not building a personal brand. So this goes back to, trying to take a shortcut really. And I want you to understand when you build a brand, it goes back to what I said about building trust. Like if you are the expert at, I don't know, I'm just going to pick this up, watches, right? And your niche is watches, and maybe it's like luxury watches, and you're teaching all about watches. And I understand if you don't have money, just bear with me, right? But if you're sharing all the value, you're talking about the different watches and what they have and creating cool content, whether it's Instagram or YouTube and all this stuff, do you think somebody's going to trust buying an expensive watch from you or the person who just runs, say, a Facebook ad to them and tries to sell them on a page for the watch? Now, if you were selling cheap watches, maybe that would work. But if you wanted to sell expensive watches, which would be what I would focus on, building an Instagram page and becoming the watch expert, even if you don't own the watches, right? You literally could collect images and share facts about them. You're going to be the person that makes more money in the watch game over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years over the person that's just making little cheap sales of watches from China. So my point here is when you build a personal brand, you're not going to go under. You're not going to be fighting for selling the cheapest thing. You're not going to be fighting to get the sales. The sales will come to you. Now, this is the final tip I have for you, and it's you should be reinvesting into your business. I see too many people want to do things for free on the cheap. They don't want to invest in themselves, whether that be books, courses to learn, going to events. They don't want to invest in tools that make their life easier, and they especially don't want to invest in actually getting a team in place. This is what I'm focused on this year. I've had a team for quite a few years, right? But I'm actually focused on building a team now of about 10 to 15 people to grow to what I want to create. When I started years ago, I actually had an outsourcing business where I had about 20 different employees. I actually got rid of that outsourcing business and downsized it. Now I still do have an outsourcing business, so to speak, but it's a very small one, right? And it's really focused on my business and building my stuff. Now I'm focused on expanding my team so I can offer more services. I can get into other niche industries and I can expand into other businesses I want to get into without me putting in more time. So this is the thing. If you really want to grow your business, you got to invest in things like tools that help you automate your business. These are things like email autoresponders, sales funnel builders like ClickFunnels or whatever the heck new funnel builder is in the future, building out a team. That doesn't mean you have to have a giant, staff like what I'm building, right? Understand, I'm building a very, very big business. That's what my goal is over the next 3 to 5 years. For you, you may just want to run, have 1 or 2 employees helping you do stuff, but it gives you your time back. So understand there's going to be more time up front building your business, but if you put a team in place, it's not going to be the business model that makes you rich, right? It's going to be focusing on whatever business you're building and building systems that allow that to grow. That's why there's going to be people that are multimillionaires in affiliate marketing, multimillionaires selling their own products, multimillionaires with Shopify. Shopify is a perfect example to use on the positive side of that. The people that grow really big Shopify businesses, they have a team. They usually have 10, 15 different employees that help them automate the process so they're not processing all the orders, answering customer service, and doing all those lower paid income skills. You want to focus on high income skills, and that's things like selling stuff. So with that being said, that is my 5 tips as to why most people fail with affiliate marketing. And if you want to get on the other side of the fence and you actually want to win, these are the things that you got to focus on. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you smash the like button. And finally, if you want more training like this, you want to go more in detail, in the description, I'll link up the free training so you can learn how to take your business to the next level. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.